What's going on, guys? So today in this video, I want to talk about a different wrestler here, someone who I haven't really talked about, and that person is Lyra Valkyria. And I just felt like she's kind of taken a dip in terms of her quality in her booking. I just feel like she had like a lot of momentum going on earlier in the year, and now she's just I'm gonna get into it right now, but before I do, like, subscribe to the channel, and pretty much we're just gonna talk about it right now, and because Lyra Valkyria, like I said, like literally, like earlier in the year, early 2025, she was Intercontinental Champion, the first Intercontinental Champion, women's champion, and she had a lot of hype and a lot of excitement, a lot of intrigue from the fans, and she was early on in her title reign, and no one really cared about her, and but like as much as far as like the live crowds and the people online, but she was starting to get kind of over. And then this Becky Lynch feud, it elevated her. It really got people more excited about her and her championship reign. And, people were saying, like, oh man, this is going to be great for Lyra Valkyria because she's going to get elevated through Becky Lynch. And, I thought that as well. I was like, man, I'm excited for this because I think Becky and Lyra I thought they were doing great together. They were cutting great promos together, doing good matches. But unfortunately, it led to nowhere. Because why? Because look where Lyra is right now. She's not champion. She's she has no storyline whatsoever anymore, and she's just she's like literally just a jobber now. She loses most of her matches, and she's doing all these filler matches, and and she's just like, again, she's just not entertaining. She's not doing anything of meaning anymore. And it sucks to see that, because it's like I wanted Lyra Valkyria to be great and do a lot of interesting things with as a champion, but she lost it to Becky Lynch, and it's like, I think Becky was a great champion. Don't get me wrong. I like Becky Lynch. Like I really think that this whole her being a heel has really made me like her a lot, because like she's just such a good heel. I never really got into her as a face when she was like, you know, in the 2020s, with her being a face, like throughout the last couple of years, I was like, she's whatever. But her as a heel, she's doing great right now. But I just feel like, man, like this whole Becky and Lyra feud could have really elevated Lyra Valkyria as a champion and as a wrestler in general. But instead, all it led to was Lyra and Becky feuding for like such a long ass time. They dragged this whole feud on for months and months and months. They wrestled way too many times. They cut way too many promos on each other. And it just got to a point where it's like, man, this fucking feud is leading nowhere. Lyra Valkyria is not even a champion anymore. And these people just keep feuding over and over again. It's like they're cutting. It got to a point where it's like, yeah, it's just repetitive filler. It's garbage filler, and their promos started to get boring. The matches weren't that great anymore. They didn't feel as exciting. So yeah, the feud just dragged on for long for no reason. Just so, like, literally just for nothing. There was no reason why that feud should have continued for that long. And then so it's like it was just stupid. It was dumb. There was no reason for that to happen, especially because Lyra Valkyria wasn't the champion anymore. So it's like, why are we still continuing this? It's like it was just dumb. This feud, it got to a point where it's like it was elevating no one. No one was being elevated anymore. So it was like, Lyra Valkyria had a lot of potential. And now look where she's at now. She's a jobber, and she's just boring now. She does nothing. Her and Bayley are just doing this stupid ass, oh, we're a team, and 1 week Bayley's is crazy, and 1 week she's not. On 1 week, Bayley likes everyone, and 1 week she doesn't. It's just like she's stuck with Bailey doing that shit, just doing meaningless matches, meaningless backstage segments, and overall just like she's just boring now. Her and Bailey are just they're now a fucking team together trying to get chase the tag team championships, and we know they're not gonna win it. If anything, Rhea and what's it called, and Io are gonna win it. They're gonna win it. The Kabuki Warriors, they're not doing shit with those tag team belts, and they've been losing left and right since they've won it. Like literally, they've been doing all these meaningless matches as a tag team, without defending their titles on the line. It's like fucking dumb. But it's like we had the whole War Games for what? Just so these people could still keep feuding. All these women that were in the War Games match for the women's War Games, they're all still beefing with each other after a whole month later. After Survivor Series. And, like I said, the Kabuki Warriors aren't doing shit with those tag belts. They've only defended their title, like, 2 times so far? But mostly just been doing meaningless matches. So, if anything, Rhea and Io are going to take those belts. And I can see it, Rhea and Io losing them, like, 2 months later. So that way Rhea could chase Stephanie or... Yeah, I think... Because I'm pretty sure Stephanie Valkyria is still going to be the champion. So she's going to... once again, get another title match, and that's going to be where she's going to be at right now. Because I'm pretty sure Triple H, he's trying to be smart. He's trying to, quote-unquote, smart, because he's trying to be like, oh, yeah, all these fans are saying she's always in title matches, so we're just going to take her out of it. And we're going to, do that Cody Rhodes thing where it's like, oh, he's not getting any more title matches until, like, a year later, and then he's going to continue to get so many opportunities for that championship again. And have the title again, probably. It's like, it's the same shit. It's the same thing, bro. And it's like, why? It's like, why are we doing this for? So we're pretty much just wasting all this time doing nothing with Lyra, doing nothing with all these, with Io and all these people. For what? So it's like, I definitely do see a scenario, though, where it's like Rhea and Io are going to win the belt. And... pretty much Lyra and Bailey are going to still be stuck doing nothing. What are they going to do? Now they're going to chase Rhea and Io for the tag belts. They're not going to win them. We know that. They're not going to win them. It's pretty obvious. And even if they do, they're not going to be doing anything of meaning. No tag champion has, for the men or the women, have done anything of meaning. They're just doing filler matches and barely defending the titles. So it's like, who fucking cares? Literally Lyra and Bailey are doing nothing right now. Like, Lyra should be doing way more. And this whole Becky and Lyra Valkyria feud could have really elevated her. I thought that's where they were going, but they didn't. She was cutting, her and Becky, like I said, they were cutting great promos in the beginning and doing good matches. They had a good storyline going with each other. Becky felt betrayed by Lyra because she teamed with Bailey, who made her life hell in the past with Damage Control, and that's why Becky had turned on Lyra and became heel. So it's like we had a whole interesting storyline going. They were cutting great promos, doing good matches together. Ultimately, for what? Just so Lyra could lose the belt and they could still drag this feud on for months and months and months for no reasons, and so then it becomes filler garbage. It's like, bro, it's just fucking dumb. It's dumb. And now look where Lyra is. Like I said, she's just a jobber doing absolutely nothing of meaning. And it just makes no sense, man. Like, she's literally it's like she had so much potential, and I don't think she has that potential anymore, man. I just don't think so. It's unfortunate. And Becky, like she did great as IC champion, but look where she's at now. Now, like, I know Maxine Dupree's young. I'm pretty sure she's in her late 20s. So, like, Becky put her over or whatever. But why her, though? It just seems to me that Maxine Dupree is like some fucking company favorite. Because, like, how the fuck is Maxine Dupree gonna be on the in WWE for so many years on the main roster and still be a rookie? How the fuck does that make any sense? Like she's literally been in WWE for so long, and she's barely done any matches, and is still training to learn how to wrestle properly. And she's your IC champion. What has she done to even earn that? Like all these people are like talking about, oh my God, Maxine Dupree is so good on the mic, she deserves the championship. Why? For what? She's barely wrestled. When this whole time that she's been on the main roster for like what 3-4 years, I don't even know. It's been a while, and she's barely wrestling. She has no storylines. She doesn't have any. She's never had any interesting storylines or storylines in general. She doesn't cut promos, and when she does, she's not saying anything of meaning on the mic. And her matches are, like I said, they're all botchy and sloppy because she's still a rookie. She's improved a little bit. I'll admit that, but like, who fucking cares? How are you still gonna barely be improving after this many years of being on the main roster? I just don't get it, man. I really don't understand why, like, people are defending her so much and like why people like her. Like, Maxine Dupree fucking sucks. None of the promos that she's cut recently are fucking good either. They're not. What, her saying, "Oh, Becky, your years are behind you, and you know, you're not gonna be able to blame you losing on corruption, and I'm better than you. I beat the best." And like, how is that a good promo? I don't understand. I don't understand how that's a good promo. It's literally like a typical promo you normally hear. It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm better than you. I'm gonna win. You suck, and you're washed up." Like, pretty much, that's pretty much what she said. It's like it's the same old shit. We've heard that so many times in promos. So how is that such a good promo? I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand why the bar is being raised so low for Maxine Dupree, not just by the company but by the fans. Like, people are just so easily impressed by everything she does, and so is the company. It's like she's just such a handpicked favorite for whatever reason. Like, it's like she's like literally a toddler being with her hand being raised, and everyone's just like, "Oh my God, good job. Here's a sticker. Here's a drink. Here's some juice. You know. Here's a pat on the back. Go eat some pizza." You know, it's like everyone's just treating her like she's some kid, like just like being extra like friendly and nice, and like, for what? She's literally like she's not doing anything good, but the bar is so raised so low for her that anything that she says and does is so impressive to everyone, like by the company and the fans, and it just I don't get it. I really don't get it, you know. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Maxine Dupree, like it's like it's obvious she's a handpicked favorite. She is. It's obvious, you know. It's like there's no doubt about that, and it's like because of that, now we have to deal with her being a champion while still being rusty in the ring, while still not really cutting any good promos. Like, you could argue that they're mid at best, but even that is like, I don't even think they're mid. They're just straight up garbage. But they're not anything special. They're not anything good. They're just like whatever, you know? They're just not that great. So, yeah, it's like we got to deal with Maxine Dupree being a champion and Becky Lynch looking like an idiot now. Like, Becky Lynch is just a comedy jobber now. That's what they've turned her into. Just to elevate Maxine Dupree, who's a rookie. She sucks. Well, you could have used that push to elevate Lyra Valkyria, but again, whoever is the company favorite by Triple H, it ends up getting everything fed to them. You know, they can get all the opportunities and, you know, be pushed to the moon pretty much if you're the company favorite. So it's like it's just dumb, bro. But you could have used that. You could have used that push for Lyra Valkyria. She had so much hype for her during that Becky feud, and you could have used that to elevate her and that championship. But no, you decided to take the belt off of her to give it to Becky when you could have elevated a younger star, and then you had them still feuding for months and months and months for no reason. It became filler garbage at that point. You know, they weren't cutting any good promos anymore. The matches were meaningless. No one gave a fuck anymore. So it's like they had so much going for Lyra, all for nothing, just to drop it. Just to drop it. You know, so like, I don't know, man. I just wanted to make this video pretty much just to say all these things, because it's like, it just sucks to see a young talent like Lyra Valkyria, you know, who I feel personally had potential earlier in the year, and now look where she's at. What is she doing? What is she saying or doing right now that's so special that makes you think, oh, she has potential, you know, she has so much potential? No, she's not doing anything right now. She's not saying or doing anything of substance that makes me think, oh yeah, she has potential. No. All that potential is gone now. It is what it is, man. It sucks to say, but that's, you know, this company would rather push like either, you know, this company would rather push like older, you know, wrestlers that are like in their late 30s or 40s that are the favorites, or the ones that are younger that are their favorites are usually, you know, garbage, and they're not actually doing anything of meaning with them either. So it's like, it's a lose-lose either way, man, because you're either pushing older talent in exchange of a younger talent, or you're pushing a younger talent who's garbage in exchange for another younger talent who actually is good. You know, it's just like, it's a lose-lose either way, man, with this company. Because this company only, whether if you're young or old, they're just going to push whoever is their favorite, and that's it. Now, they don't care about the skills at all. But they do definitely rely on those fucking old people a lot, though, whether if they're the favorites or not. Whether if the older people are Triple H's favorites or not, they definitely do rely on the older people a lot, though, still either way. Because, I mean, like, look at all these cheap pop nostalgia returns that we got this year. Nikki Bella, Alexa Bliss, and well, not Alexa Bliss. She's not really old. She's not an older wrestler. But like Nikki Bella, Charlotte Flair, AJ Lee, Brock Lesnar, like all these fucking people, you could go down the list and of all the returns, all these nostalgia cheap pop returns that we got this year. And it's like, even like Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler, it's like, it's all this cheap pop nostalgia returns. They're not doing these returns because they actually are bringing these people back to do anything of meaning with them. They're just bringing them back just to get all the views and money. That's all it is. They're not going to actually do anything of meaning with these people. But they know that these older wrestlers, you know, people have nostalgia and love for them. So they know that people are going to watch and you know, want to stay tuned to what's going on. So that's why they keep using these cheap pop and nostalgia returns, because they know they're going to get all the views and money for it. So that's all this is. That's all this is, man. This company is all about cheap pop returns and pushing favorites, and that's it. It's fucking stupid, man. They rely on all these older wrestlers for cheap pops, and they rely on their, you know, on the Triple H favorite wrestlers, you know, who are all garbage. That's what this WWE relies on. On whoever is the cheap pop nostalgia return, or whoever is that is older, you know, pretty much all the cheap pop nostalgia returns are older wrestlers. So that's who they rely on, and they also rely on Triple H's favorites, his favorite wrestlers, you know. Those are the two things that this company relies on. It's like, it's fucking stupid. Push people who actually are young and good. And while you're at it, you know, push older wrestlers who actually are good too, like, you know, Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. But they're not going to do any of these things, man. They're not. You know, they talk so much about how, oh, this younger wrestler has so much potential, they're the future. Man, they're not going to do shit with these people. The only person that I can see actually getting some kind of push is Braun Breaker. That's it. You know, like, I can see him winning the title at WrestleMania against Punk. But that's it. All these other people like Javon Evans and Obafemi, Trick Williams, um, like all these fucking people that they talk so much about, like, we see the future in these young talents. Like, it's bullshit, man. They say that all the time, but then they do nothing with these people. They do nothing. Like it doesn't even matter if they're in NXT or if they're in the main roster. Like they just don't use these young talents at all. They're just bullshitting. They're bullshitting. The only person, like I said, that I can see that's young that can actually get a push is Braun Breaker. But that's it. No one else is actually gonna get pushed at all. At all, bro. And even even the younger people that did have championship reigns and held that belt, what did they do that was so special with their championship reigns? What did they do? Because you had Tiffany Stratton, who's young. She's young. She's barely in her late 20s. Like, she's 26 years old. She's young. But her championship reign was garbage. And she came out from NXT and she had a terrible title reign. So it's like you give all these, even the young people that they do push, again, they're all just garbage though. I just don't understand. Like if they mostly push these older wrestlers that are usually their favorites, but the younger ones that are their favorites, they're also garbage. And it's just like it's a lose-lose, like I said. It is. Like what can you say about Tiffany Stratton's title reign that was so special? She wrestled the same people over and over again. Over and over again. It was Nia Jax and partially Jade Cargill. That's it. She was wrestling the same people over and over. It's like, bro. And Stephanie Valkyria, I know she's young too, but like, what has she had done so far that is so special with her title reign? What has she done? What has she done? Nothing. She's barely even defended her title, and her promos are fucking trash. I don't care about the excuse of, but she's still learning, bro. Then why put the title on her? Why put the title on her? And then there's other people who say, "Oh, she's improving." What do you mean she's good on the mic? What? Okay, name one memorable promo from Stephanie Valkyrie. Name one. Like, it doesn't matter, like whether she's still learning English or not. Her promos are garbage, and if they're garbage, then it is what it is. She shouldn't have the title. I don't care whether she can speak English properly or not. If you can't cut a good promo with any material that you are given, from whatever English that you could speak, if you can't even cut a good promo from just a little bit of that, then you shouldn't have the title. So, I don't know, man. Like, WWE has just so much problems going on, and like I said, Lyra Valkyria, she's one of them. She's someone who I felt had potential with that Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria feud, but they just went nowhere with it. Now Becky and Lyra they're just a bunch of jobbers doing a whole bunch of nothing, saying and doing a whole bunch of nothing. They're just Lyra Valkyria is just, she's not interesting anymore, and Becky, I still think she's good. Like, her, especially on the internet, like her social media is so entertaining and funny, and just and she's one of those heels who I can actually get behind, because she's actually right. Like AJ Lee, she technically did cost her her match, and the reason for her turning heel was like Lyra teaming with Bayley. Like, that was understandable, and like she's just like, she's one of those heels who I can get behind, and she's like justified, right? So like Becky, she's just like, she's funny and she's entertaining and she's justified, and she has like just she does good matches. Like she's Becky's great, but I just felt like they're turning her into a joke against Maxine Dupree though, specifically. It's like, it's just fucking stupid. And AJ Lee, they just make her look weak. They make her look like, and I guess she's supposed to be a cowardly heel, but like, you don't have to make them look weak though. Like, you don't have to make them just be like unrealistically scared of like someone who's way smaller than them, or someone who's a rookie. Like, that's just fucking stupid, man. Like, that's just unbelievable. Like, literally, it makes no sense. Like, it's like Becky Lynch is not the biggest person in WWE, but like, come on, her being scared of AJ Lee, like that's not believable. like, like literally Becky Lynch would like, she's like what, maybe five, like, 5'7", 5'9", I don't know, somewhere around there. She's a little bit taller compared to like most, like some of the women that are like in WWE that are really short. And like AJ Lee is one of them. She's like 5 foot something. She's like 5 feet tall or some shit. And Becky Lynch is like taller than her and has more. She weighs more than her. I mean, she's not like like I said, she's not like big and strong. She's not tall and strong, but compared to AJ Lee, she is. She's like a normal sized woman, and AJ Lee looks like a little girl. She's like 5 foot tall and weighs 100 pounds. Like you expect me to believe Becky Lynch is gonna be scared of her? It's just it's not believable whatsoever, man. They just make Becky Lynch look like a clown and look like a joke. And even against Maxine Dupree, like I said, like she's just losing in the most dumbest ways and looking stupid with the way she's tapping all the damn time to her. They just make her look like a joke. That's all they're doing. But Becky Lynch is still great. But Lyra Valkyria is not, she's not great anymore. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe to the channel. And, I see you guys in the next video. Peace out.